News from the UK now, and UK Prime Minister Liz Truss unveiled one of UK's most diverse cabinets, with key frontline posts going to ethnic minority members of Parliament, including Indian-origin Suella Braverman as the Home Secretary. NDTV's Parmeshwar Bawa breaks down how for the first time there's no white man holding one of Britain's top 4 positions.
In a historic first, there are no white males in any of the 4 most senior positions of the UK government. Remember, the Prime Minister is Liz Truss, the Chancellor of the Exchequer is Kwasi Kwarteng, the Home Secretary Suella Braverman, as well as the Foreign Secretary. Now, the UK also has its first non-white Environment Secretary, Ranil Jayawardena, and International Trade Secretary, Kemi Badenoch. Liz Truss made her neighbour, Kwasi Kwarteng, who said Brits were among the worst idlers, the new Chancellor. Right-winger Suella is the Home Secretary, and her close pal Therese Coffey is now the Deputy Prime Minister and Health Secretary of the United Kingdom. Suella Braverman, the former Attorney General, is among the few Tories who can match Priti Patel for her hardline views. She is of Indian origin, and the 42-year-old wants the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, which essentially protects against torture and unfair trials. As a Prime Minister candidate, Suella Braverman had said, and I quote, "We need to shrink the size of the state and get rid of all this woke rubbish." Suella Braverman, though, is only the 5th woman in history to hold the post of UK's Home Secretary. UK's new Prime Minister, though, Liz Truss, has dumped Rishi Sunak supporters and installed Loyalists into top jobs as she ignored calls to unify the party in this new cabinet reshuffle. The new Prime Minister has sacked Dominic Raab, who had branded her plans electoral suicide just 40 minutes after entering Downing Street, along with Sunak backers Steve Barclay, Grant Shapps and Shailesh Vara. Penny Mordaunt, meanwhile, who could have been the Prime Minister if 5 Truss-backing MPs had voted for her, was named Leader of the Commons, a job ex-leader Ian Duncan Smith had rejected. Priti Patel, meanwhile, the Home Secretary who resigned before she could be pushed after her replacement was widely briefed. The Foreign Office briefly liked a tweet from Labour's Zara Sultana saying, "Good riddance, you were an unspeakably cruel Home Secretary and won't be missed by anyone with a shred of decency." This dominance of Truss campaign supporters around the Truss top table is already prompting grumbling among some Tory MPs, and UK's new Prime Minister's desire for loyalty and building a government in her own image runs the risk of provoking rebellion down the track.